Yeah, hi there. In this tutorial, we are going to talk about dealing with the mixed variables. So, what are mixed variables? So, mixed variables are those whose values can contain both numbers and labels. For example, vehicle registration number, which contains both letters and numbers. So, one way of engineering these features is to extract the number part in one variable and the label part in the another variable. So, basically, from this one variable, we get two other variables, one which contains the numeric part and the other which contains the categorical part or the label part. And then we apply to these newly created features engineering techniques, and then we see how we can make use of those new variables to build the machine in our machine learning model. Now, sometimes it is beneficial to extract these values separately and use in in two different columns, and sometimes it is not necessary to do that. So whether it is needed or not depends upon case to case. So let's see if there is a requirement to do such thing. Then I'm talking about two scenarios here. So scenario one, in which we are having a data frame in which there are two columns. First column is the roll number, which is it's the roll number of a student, and the second column is the grade. So now if you see, the values of the grade column are mixed. So in some, for some students, the grade is mentioned in the form of grade B, or grade student got grade C or A, and for some students it is mentioned as grade in the form of first or second, like he got first division, second division. So it's a mixed variable column. Now what we have to do, let's say if we want to extract numeric part and the text part in a separate column. So that is I want two separate columns like this. If I show you, and then one is the grade number and other is the grade label. Grade number indicates that wherever number is coming, corresponding to that, it should have a value, and others should have NA. Similarly for grade label, wherever label is mentioned here, like ABC, in that column we should have that label, otherwise it should have null. So how do we do this? We can use the function of pandas, which is pd.to underscore numeric, and passing the column which we want to deal with, which is basically the column which is of mixed values. And then along with it I am passing the one parameter errors equals to coerce. So what it will do, for all those values which it is not able to parse, it will set those values as nan. And in the end, I'm just specifying the data type as int64. Just note that it is capital I, int64, so that the ultimate values that we get are in the form of integers instead of float. So, and I'm storing the result in a new column, which is grade number. So this is what we got. So wherever it was able to convert values from the grade column into numeric values, like one was able to be was converted into numeric, again 2 was converted into numeric 2. So there it worked fine, and wherever it was not able to convert the values from the grade column into the numeric values, it set it as null or NA, and the data type is int64. So I'm just displaying the first 5 records. Now we have extracted one thing, which is the numeric part of the grades. Now if I want to extract another, which is the label part, so what I am doing is, wherever, so basically I'm making the use of these two columns. So I'm using this column as a base now. So wherever it is NA, for example, all these rows, wherever it is NA, I have to take this value, and wherever it is not NA, I have to set it as NA for label. Yeah, so it's like just inverse of this. So wherever it is NA, pick it from the grade column. Otherwise, just set it as NA. So this is what I'm doing. np dot where. So take grade underscore num column as the base column and check if it is NA. If it is NA, then take the value from grade column df dot grade. And if it is not NA, then set it as, and if it is having some value, sorry, then set it as nan. So, and whatever the values we are getting, we are assigning into a new column, which is grade underscore label. So if you see, This is what we get finally. So these were the two initial columns. Now we got two new columns. Grade is grade number and grade label. Grade number contains all those values where the grade was in the numeric format, and grade label contains all those values where the grade was in the form of text. So now I'm just checking the number of NAs in each column. So we said we get to five NAs in grade number and five NA in grade labels. So this is one drawback is that with this approach is you get a lot of NAs in the new column. So the newly graded columns will have values plus a lot of NAs also, and then we have to deal with these NAs in a separate way. So that is one thing. Now, second thing is, let's take a second scenario in which, let's say we have a data frame and it has two columns. First column is the company. It's basically it's a vehicle related information. This indicates the company which has manufactured that vehicle. And second column is the vehicle number. Now, this vehicle number column, it's a mixed value column. Now I want to extract information from this. So if you see these numbers are in the form of the Indian vehicle numbers, like first two alphabets are the state code, then the next two are city code, then it's actually the number which is having another two parts, the text series and then the numeric series. So if we can extract this information, then it will be helpful because then we from this one column we are actually able to get a lot of information like the vehicle belong to which state, which city, and which series of alphabets it was assigned to, and what was the numeric series. So in such cases we usually use regular expressions to extract numeric and the text part separately. So what I'm doing is I'm just calling df dot vehicle number, that's the name of the column, dot str dot extract all. And within this extract all, I'm passing the regular expression. So the way I'm specifying the regular expression is I'm setting the group for each of these values. Basically, since uh, in our case the format is fixed. That is, the first two characters represent the state code. So that's what I'm passing the. This is a group, okay, and I have named the group as vehicle state code, and this is A to Z, which represents the letters, and the first within the curly braces two represents the two. That is the first two letters represents the state code. Then the uh, next two represents the vehicle code. Sorry, next two represent the city code. So city code again, it's a numeric. So I'm giving the name of the group as vehicle city code, and since it is numeric, so I'm using backslash d, which indicates a digit, and its length is 2. So within curly braces we have 2 again. Then next comes the series, which can be of any length. It is not necessarily 2. So and in the end, I'm just resetting the index, that is resetting the score index, so that everything comes in a single column. So this is what we get from this column, and the output we get actually is in the form of a data frame, which I'm storing in vehicle underscore data frame. I'm displaying it. Now from this, I don't want these columns level 0 and match, so I'm just dropping these two columns, which we can drop using data frame dot drop and specifying the list of columns using columns parameter, and in place equals to true, so that is changes should happen within the data frame. Now what I'm doing, I'm just merging the vehicle data frame with the original data frame that we had, df.merge, and in that original data frame we have to merge this vehicle data frame, and I'm merging it based on the index. So left index equals to true, and similarly right index equals to true, and whatever the result I'm getting after merge, I'm storing it back in the data frame df, and I'm displaying the df right here right now. So if you see what initially we had only two columns, company and vehicle number. Now from this we had extracted one, two, three, four columns. So this represents the state code. The next two was the city code, and the next is the vehicle series, and then the digit series. So this is what we got, and now there is no need for this vehicle column, which we can drop using df.drop. Column name is the vehicle number. Now, if we can convert these columns, which we think are categorical in nature, into the categorical column. So I'm specifying the list of columns as vehicle state code, vehicle city code, and vehicle label. Even though city code is numeric, but it's actually the code of the city, so it's more or less a categorical in nature rather than numeric. So I'm also converting it into categorical. So these columns, I've, cr- I've mentioned the name of these columns in a list, and just passing this list to the data frame and applying the function dot as type, which is used for converting column from to the specified data type. So which I'm specifying here is category. So these columns will get converted into categorical column. Result is stored back in those columns. And if I check, this is what the data type represents. So we state code, city code, and labels is in category, and the company's object and vehicle digit is integer. So this is what our finally data frame looks like. So in this way, what we have done is we have extracted information from the mixed variable column and separated it into different feature columns. Now these columns will be handy. So we can get the state code, the city to which a vehicle belongs to, and the series of its number, like what was the text series and what is the numeric series. So in this way, we can extract information from any mixed variable, and we'll try to make the use of that in our machine learning building models. Again, there is no thumb rule, or there is no hard and fast rule that to follow the same approach all the time. It's just that depending upon the case, we have to follow it. Sometimes there is no need to even extract uh, you know text and numeric separately. It is good enough to let it be whatever it is. So again, it depends on the case to case. Yeah, so I think that's it from my side in this tutorial. Thank you.